Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news. The NFL trade deadline is always one of the most exciting times of the year for football fans, especially for Seahawks supporters who are always eager to see their team make strategic moves to stay competitive. This season, a potential blockbuster is brewing, and it involves none other than Jaylon Johnson. Rumors are swirling that the Chicago Bears might be open to trading their star cornerback to Seattle, and if this deal goes through, it could have massive repercussions not only for the Seahawks, but for the entire NFC West. Let's dive into what's happening here. The buzz was sparked by some intriguing reports from Diana Rossini, one of the most reliable insiders in the league. According to her, the Bears, who are currently sitting with a 5-5 record, are considering trading Jaylon Johnson, one of their top defensive players, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and a player. This move, if it materializes, would be a clear strategy by Chicago to free up cap space, around $13 million, to rebuild their offensive line and address other pressing needs. But for the Seahawks, this isn't just about freeing cap. It's about beefing up their secondary, which has been a real strength this season, especially with Tarek Woolen and Quandre Diggs leading the way. Now, why would the Bears consider parting ways with Johnson? Well, Chicago has struggled defensively, giving up an average of 9 points per game, and they're in a bit of a rebuild mode. Their defense needs a serious overhaul, and trading Johnson, who's been a lockdown corner, makes sense in their long-term plan. Meanwhile, the Seahawks could be eyeing Johnson as the perfect complement to Woolen, creating one of the league's most formidable cornerback duos. Johnson, nicknamed the Locksmith for his ability to clamp down on top receivers in man coverage, would immediately elevate Seattle's secondary, making life even more difficult for opposing quarterbacks. This potential trade isn't just a shot in the dark, it's rooted in solid football reasoning. The Athletic pointed out that trading Johnson would be logical, especially considering the Bears' current defensive stats, allowing nearly 24 points per game. Seattle, on the other hand, has been building their secondary with a focus on aggressive, man-to-man coverage, and adding Johnson would boost that even further. His ability to lock down elite receivers like Deebo Samuel or Cooper Kupp would make a noticeable difference in key matchups. Let's talk about Johnson's profile for a moment. Drafted 50th overall in 2020, he's developed into a top-tier cornerback, with a career tally of 280 tackles, 10 interceptions, and a PFF grade of 87, 3 overall. For 2025, his numbers remain impressive: 38 tackles, 4 interceptions in just 10 games, with a PFF coverage grade of 85-1, placing him among the top 5 cornerbacks in the league. His expected points allowed, EPA, per target is just 0.11, and he's recorded 10 pass deflections, allowing only 48% completion against him. His yards after catch per reception, YAC rec, is an elite 3.8, showcasing how well he can prevent yards after the catch, which is crucial in today's pass-heavy NFL. Johnson's injury history is relatively minor. He missed a game in Week 3 due to a shoulder injury, but has otherwise been a consistent contributor. His impact on the Seahawks' defense could be transformative. Historically, he's been known for his lockdown skills, and in 2023 he recorded 6 interceptions, with a PFF grade of 92. 2 in 2024, and an average of 15 pass deflections per season. His knack for creating turnovers has been a significant asset, and adding him to the Seahawks' secondary would give them a real X-factor in pass coverage. The reasons for the Bears' willingness to trade Johnson are multifaceted. They have roughly $17 million in cap space, but they're leaking yards on the ground, allowing about 125 rushing yards per game, and they've struggled to stop the run, especially after their 2-2 start. Their focus appears to be on rebuilding the front 7, prioritizing their pass rush and run defense, and moving Johnson would open up cap space to pursue other defensive upgrades or draft picks. Plus, they're aiming to build a more balanced team, and trading Johnson, a premier corner, for future assets makes sense in that context. For the Seahawks, acquiring Johnson isn't just about filling a need. It's about elevating their entire secondary to a new level. Projecting his impact, analysts suggest that Johnson's addition would boost the Seahawks' man coverage efficiency by around 22%, and they could expect around 6 interceptions per season, which would be a huge boost to their turnover margin. His presence would also help reduce the passing yards allowed per game, currently at about 210 yards, by roughly a quarter, making Seattle's pass defense one of the best in the league. Woolen and Spoon, already elite in their own right, would be supported by Johnson's lockdown ability, transforming Seattle's secondary into one of the league's most feared units. If we look at the stats, a comparison between Johnson and Witherspoon shows Johnson's +1, 9 pass deflections per game, and a reduction in completion percentage allowed, down from 57% to 50%. His tackling also leads to more turnovers, with an increase of about 14 forced turnovers projected. His presence would also minimize injuries in the secondary, especially considering Burns' absence in Week 7, and it would give Seattle a significant advantage against high-powered offenses like the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, or the Rams' Cooper Kupp. From a Super Bowl perspective, the odds of Seattle winning would get a notable boost. Right now, their odds are around +1, 200, but with Johnson in the fold, some betting markets suggest those could improve to as low as +800. He'd be a true X-factor against aerial attacks, especially in tight playoff games where every possession counts. His addition would also bolster the team's overall confidence when facing elite receivers, making Seattle's defense an even more impenetrable fortress. It's akin to the impact Gilmore had with the Patriots in 2018. Adding a shutdown corner can change the entire defensive dynamic and tilt the odds in Seattle's favor. Now looking at the Bears' side, a trade for Johnson would likely weaken their odds, possibly pushing their Super Bowl chances from +10, 0 to even less, as they'd be losing a key piece of their defense. But for the Seahawks, this move could be a defining moment, a way to set themselves apart from the division and establish a dominant secondary that can carry them deep into the postseason. Their defense has already been solid, but adding Johnson would push them into the elite tier, especially with the playoffs looming and every game becoming more critical. The overall impact of this trade, if it happens, would be seismic. The Seahawks have been quietly building a strong team with a focus on defense, drafting well, developing players like Woolen and Spoon, and adding a player like Johnson would cement their status as a true contender. It's not just about one player, it's about the message it sends to the league and to their division rivals. Seattle is serious about competing now, and they're willing to make bold moves to improve their roster. So Seahawks fans, this potential deal is one to keep an eye on. It could be a game changer, not only for this season, but for the future of Seattle's defense for years to come. Johnson's addition would make the Seahawks' secondary one of the most feared in the league, and that kind of talent could be the difference between a playoff run and a deep Super Bowl push. The anticipation is high, and as we approach the deadline, everyone in the Emerald City should be excited about what's possible. The Seahawks are always looking for ways to upgrade, and this move could be exactly what they need to push their championship ambitions even further. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Finally, no matter what happens in the coming days, one thing is clear. The Seahawks are not resting on their laurels. They are actively looking to improve, and if they can land Jalen Johnson, it could be the move that propels them into the next level. Fans should stay tuned, because this is exactly the kind of bold, strategic decision that can turn a good team into a championship-caliber squad. The future looks bright, and with the talent on this roster, Seattle is always in the conversation. Keep supporting, stay loud, and let's see what's next for the Seahawks as they chase that Super Bowl dream once again. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.